Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today is my thoughts on the Las Vegas Open and what we've seen. So all the Age of Sigmar stuff looks good. I like how they've combined the Skaven back into Age of Sigmar. So that should be interesting. The old Bretonians, yeah, touch and go on them. They're not my favourite new sculpts, but that's how it is. Then there's the 40k stuff. Where do I start? I mean, Eliminators. Primaris, Space Marine, Eliminators. If you're going to keep on giving us units like which already have like for like in the codex, like the Eliminators have scout snipers, the intercessors have the tactical marine squad and stuff like that, then really, Games Workshop, please, please, please do a Primaris Space Marine book as a separate entity, because otherwise we're gonna have a book the size of the old Warhammer Fantasy Battle Tome, the Warhammer Fantasy rulebook, 8th edition rulebook. That's about that wide. It's not a small book. It's at least an inch or so wide, and that had every faction in the fantasy battle setting in it, with a brief history, the rules. That was why it was so big. Now, to make the Space Marine Codex that size is not in my mind, is not a good idea. Because who wants to buy a book that is an inch thick? I mean, this book currently is gigantic anyway, and now you're going to bloat it even more with more Primaris stuff. How many librarians do we need? We got, what is it, 18 different models for lieutenants. 18 different models. Really, this is just ridiculous now. I understand one or two, but I mean, which is the second librarian model for the Primaris? If you wanted to give Space Marines their own separate army, then give them their own separate book. Cut everything that is Primaris related out of it, put that in its own separate book, and leave it at that. In that way, if I wanted to field Primaris and Space Marines, I'd have two books. If I wanted to field Space Marines and no Primaris, I've got a book. Or if I want to field Primaris and no Space Marines, I have that option. But to combine them both into the same book is just madness. It really is. I mean, the Chaos models look interesting. I'll give you that. But again, I'm not going to touch them because I don't collect Chaos. But this, yeah, just the Eliminators. Let me guess, next thing you'll bring out will be a transport for the Eliminators, along the lines of the Land Speeder Storm. Which, let me think a couple of minutes. If you widen the Land Speeder chassis by, I don't know, Primaris a few millimeters bigger. So yeah, say you widen let's say you widen the land speeder to fit two Primaris, Reavers or similar as crew. What does that give you for? Oh, that means you can fit 5 of them in the back. Okay. Let's say you make it double length, so you can fit 10 in the back. Okay. So suddenly you've got a land speeder Storm with Primaris crew, and suddenly you can throw Eliminators into the back of it because reasons. Does this sound like a good idea, or does this sound like someone's going, oh, we've got new models, we need to give them some form of transport? Have 2 legs, will travel. I quote that from an 8th edition fantasy battle book, rulebook. It's, yeah. Giving models 2 legs and then later on releasing transports for them is counterintuitive to say the least, in my eyes. If you're going to give them a new model, if you're going to do a new model range, make it clear it's a new model range. Do not. What you're doing now is you're giving us like for like for what's in the current Space Marine Codex. Inceptors are a mix of Sternguard and Vanguard on steroids, pretty much. Because the Sternguard had the bolters, the Vanguard had the jump packs, the Inceptors, they can dual wield assault heavy bolters. Now, yeah, okay, that's one thing. The Intercessors have bolters, basically have stalker pattern bolters on steroids with better range, with a better AP, I think it is. So, okay, yeah, that's... Can you see where I'm going with here? It's not working out to be... It's not necessarily like for like, but the aggressors as almost Centurion replacements. The Reavers are your your combat scout replacements. Eliminators are your recon marine. There we go. You're doing off the heresy armies, aren't you? I've worked it out now. You're taking a heresy army, you take recon marines, everyone has sniper rifles and power armor. Eliminators, sniper rifles, power armor. Why Games Workshop? Why? Why? It makes little to no sense. Really? Because people who collect Space Marines, if they want to collect a heresy army, will get a heresy army. They will not want a 40k equivalent. If they wanted a 40k equivalent, they would collect the normal Space Marines. I mean, I have plans on making my Raven Guard dual era, because then I can use them in 40k and in Heresy. But now, what with all these new models and all these Primaris that you're shoving down our throats, I'm going to forget the 40k era and just go pure Heresy, and eventually, come April, I will go and buy myself the Heresy Rulebook 7.5 edition, as people are calling it, and just focus on Heresy, because 40k for me now is bloated. 40k is, they say, oh, it's all streamlined. Where is it streamlined? where is it streamlined? Because there is no way. This is a minor rules gripe here. There is no way that a model with a lasgun could, in any stretch of imagination, hurt a Baneblade. And yet, in this version of 40k, on a 6+, they can. So, the previously impervious to small arms fire Baneblade that would trundle through the masses of infantry against it, blasting them to pieces with its demolisher cannon, battle cannon, coaxial autocannon, heavy bolters, and las cannons, now get shot to pieces by a horde of guardsmen. Yeah. That doesn't make sense. Now, bolters, being rapid firing rocket propelled grenades, I can understand, because they're an explosive detonating impact. But a flashlight, a lasgun, which is in effect a point and shoot weapon, which is impossible to miss with unless you can't sight it in well. That is the one thing that, I mean, as a long shot, I could possibly see you damaging the covers of the exhaust stacks at the most, and doing a bit of damage, and then it being weak enough to disappear to a grenade blast, and then possibly another grenade thrown into the engine to explode it from inside. But that's about it, and that would take more than one turn to do. It'd take at least, I'm guessing, 5 turns to do that. And this is what I'm guessing would be real life. You take any gun, say the SA-80 of the British Army, and you turn around and you try and fire the exhaust covers off one of the army tanks, you're going to eat up magazines worth of ammunition before you even get anywhere close to actually damaging them. Why? Because that's physics. And I know I'm applying physics to a game in which physics doesn't really apply because, well, after 24 inches, magically the bolt stops moving. So, yeah. Sort out 8th edition, and if it's sorted out in time for the 9th edition, for the next General's Handbook to come out, I may consider getting it. But the fact that I need a General's Handbook to play 40k when it was advertised as the get one game where you need one book for one army and the rule book, so you needed 2 books for one army, the rule book, the army book, and then your models. Now you need rule book, General's Handbook, army book, models. 4 things. Yeah, this is worse than 7th edition. And I've not even played a game of it yet. I've not played a game, and I'm already willing to say that it's worse than the previous edition of 40k. I mean, turning Manius Calgar into a Primaris Marine was uncalled for. Totally and utterly uncalled for. Why? Because nobody wanted a Primaris Space Marine version of Karga. You had the opportunity in Vigilus Defiant to kill off Karga and replace him with a unnamed, with a named character you just made up, who happened to be a Primaris Marine. That would at least given the Primaris some sort of character. But no, you go, right, we want to sell models, we'll sell a Primaris version of Marnius Karga. Primaris Karga, as the Outer Circle call him. Okay, yeah. And then you go, oh wait, Space Marines don't have enough units, we'll give them some more, so we'll add in all these other units as well. Why? The Space Marines do not need the love. The love is needed by the Eldar, the Dark Eldar, and the Xenos races. Sure, Speed Freak's got 7 units. Yay! Great! They still got up boys from the 90s. The Phoenix Lords, again, from the 90s, if not older. You take the Jane Zahn model, okay, on your website at the moment. You look at Jane Zahn. Don't you just love how static she is? Azuman, another one. He's holding a sword and he's pointing his wrist mounted gun at something. There is no actual movement in that model. He is as static as a statue. In fact, I've got the model upstairs in my room, and sprayed white, I could just give him a sepia wash and call him a statue. Put him on the tabletop as a statue. Redo the Phoenix Lords into the similar size as, say, the Avatar of Cain. Not the Forge World Avatar, the Games Workshop Avatar. These are living legends of gods. These should be Dreadnought sized. At least Dreadnought sized. But no, they're infantry sized. How on earth do you expect anyone to buy those models when they're not even scaled correctly for battles? I've bought models from a third party company because they do better models with more dynamic posing than you do, Games Workshop. Give the love to the Eldar, to the Eldari, and I don't just mean Ivrain and the Inari, who are semi-interesting. Give us actual upgraded models for current models. I mean, you've leaked there's leaks of a new Abaddon model, if you believe Chapter Master Balrak. And yet, you'll do Abaddon, but the Phoenix Lords? Where's the love for the Phoenix Lords? Take the entire Eldar range, there's half the Eldar range in Finecast at the moment. Take them out of Finecast, put them into plastic, and people might actually buy them. They might. Try it and find out. And on that note, thanks for watching my video, and I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.